Welcome to Jed Dietrich's presentation on what to do after you suffered a personal injury. In this presentation, you will hear from real clients, not paid actors, concerning what it's like to just call Jed after you've been injured. Jed will discuss how he and his firm follow the golden rule, file the documentation to preserve your rights, and collect the best evidence to build the best case to attempt to obtain the best result for you. For more information, you can always go to calljed.com.
Just a hit from behind.
I literally tripped over the leash and I smashed into the cement.
We had came to a complete stop. Then the car came flying behind us.
You're the defensive driver because somebody waved the car on and they plowed right into us, T-boned us.
I walked out of the strip mall off of the sidewalk heading towards my vehicle, and a car came out between two other vehicles.
Then the dog was put up after that happened, but the point was I injured my knee and my shoulder.
Right away, I was jerked. I got like whiplash.
I didn't know what to do. When I saw one of your commercials, I called to find out, get some information.
Constantly kept in contact with me, Miss Peggy. She was awesome. She always made sure that I got all the information that I needed.
She was there. If I had a stupid question, she didn't care. She's like, no, you need to know. If you have a question, I'm here to answer it.
Working with your firm was great. What your commercials are saying is what happens. When you say, we call you back, they call back.
The nice thing is I knew I was confident you would take care of everything and didn't have to worry.
Once I called you and your firm, then I didn't think twice about anything that needed to be done from that point.
I called the law office of Jed Dietrich, and I got results.
Let's just talk a little bit about what it was like to work with my firm.
It was great. I've worked with Peg, was my first one. Just to clarify, I've had 2 accidents, unfortunately. I was a passenger in both. My father was a driver the first time. It was at no fault. Literally, I just say when you're driving, please be extra cautious and be the defensive driver because somebody waved the car on and they plowed right into us, T-boned us. The second accident I had, my daughter was the driver. I was a passenger. And this one they thought we were moving and we weren't, so they rear-ended us. So it was not very comfortable, clearly, but working with your firm was great. I work with Peg and Becca, they're all great. I like to tell you too, when I hear your commercials, I enjoy the fact that I work with your firm and what your commercials are saying is what happens. When you say, we call you back, they call back. Even if it's at the end of the day, they say, hey, listen, we're working on this, but we just want to get you updated. They do that. So I enjoy that. They mean what they say and they do what they mean.
Tell the folks out there what it was like to work with my law firm.
Oh, Peggy was wonderful. She was there. If I had a stupid question, she didn't care. She's like, no, you need to know. If you have a question, I'm here to answer it. She's great.
Anyways, I called your law firm and Peggy answered that day. And then I got a call back later that day. And I think you had Peg come out later in the afternoon, the same day, which I was impressed. So I was there with my knee replacement. She came upstairs and we were in my front room. We discussed what to do. And you gave me your number, like you said. And if I had any questions, I could call, which during that time I did call you a couple times and asked you what to do when bills came in or what to do with the doctor's appointments and things like that. And then I ended up having to have a total shoulder replacement because of that fall.
I really wasn't thinking about what I was doing in terms of legal services, but I've been grateful ever since because once I called you and your firm, then I didn't think twice about anything that needed to be done from that point. And I was in the hospital for a couple of days and I was in rehab for about 2.5 months. And during that time period, we were checking in to make sure that I had what I needed and that there wasn't a delay in my medical care or any of the services that I needed for follow-up, that everything was taken care of, and I haven't worried about the medical bills as a result of that because I knew that your firm was on top of it and taking care of it. And so I appreciate it very much. It was one less thing to have to worry about when I was going through the whole process. And honestly, I had a lot of support from people around me, but knowing that this piece of action was being taken care of just was a load off of my shoulders. And that was one less thing to have to worry about. And that truly helped me to be able to recover without apprehension and without having to worry about what do I need to do next.
I really didn't have any paperwork. Your office took care of everything with me. And it was just awesome because I really didn't have to do anything but just show up. It's been excellent. It's definitely been excellent. And I definitely recommend that to anybody because they are loving and caring and they care about you and your health and your well-being.
So tell us a little bit more about what it was like to work with my team, Desiree.
Okay. Well, I did enjoy working with them because again, as you're going through and you're talking to people, I had to go through a lot of doctor's appointments, had a couple of surgeries, unfortunately, but they were there to walk me through it. Many times when you're going through things, you're like, okay, where do I turn? Where do I get the help? You can call them and you can feel that they're sincere when they're talking to you. There's nothing like calling a place, just, these days we're talking a lot about customer service. I don't know if it's generational, but right now the customer service in many places is not that great. Here is great. It's so warm. They're understanding. They're inviting, hey, do you have any questions? How can I help you? I had a couple instances where I had to find a specific doctor to go for whatever the issue was, and I just couldn't find it. They said, let me get back to you. They helped to navigate me through to get to that doctor in order to get what I needed. So it's not of, oh, we don't have time, we'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. It's let me get back to you, and it's usually within that day's time. That's very comforting to have because when you're going through a process, you're just like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. Okay, where do I turn to? They're there to like the one-stop shop, and we'll send you out these directions. And if they did not have the answer right then, they say, let me get back to you. So I appreciate that. Sometimes you talk to people and they say, okay, I know this information, I'm gonna shoot it out there. Let me just check on it, I'm gonna get back to you. So I appreciate that honesty and let me just get that little extra check. And they actually do respond to you. So that's so important too.
And that's the team that I've put together, Peggy, Rebecca, Nick Shemek. We've got a team of legal professionals. We're here to help you in your time of need. So I train my staff at least once monthly. And what I say to my staff is, it's our mission to provide the highest level of personal injury service to you. What does that mean? If there's a fork in the road to provide more service or less service, we always go toward providing more service. So if you could call the insurance company yourself or call the doctor to get a note or something, I don't tell you to do it. I instruct my staff to do it on your behalf so you don't have to worry about it. That's the difference between my law firm and many other law firms that advertise for personal injury cases. We handle the details for you. We fill out all the paperwork for you. We make sure that the paperwork is not only filled out, but it's filled out properly, submitted on time, and that you know about it. Because I tell every client by email or by hard copy mail what we're doing with the case because we send you letters. Do you remember getting the letters?
I got letters and phone calls, no emails. I got phone calls.
And did you appreciate that?
Oh, I did.
What was different about my approach that struck you as important to you when you were making a decision as to where you would go to retain representation?
Well, since I was laid up with my knee replacement watching TV, and I'm scanning through the TV, and you popped up a couple of times, and I thought, he seems very sincere, a very nice, caring man. And the fact that you said, I return my calls, I give my personal phone number, all those things really impressed me. So then when I did call, and like I said, how fast you got on it, you had Peggy come that same day, which really was great. And it's true because I had questions and I spoke to you personally and you said, here's my number, call me anytime. And I think I even called you one time, you were out and you called me right back, which I really liked that because I didn't know what to do when bills were coming in and how to pay them or what to do. So you were very helpful right from the get-go.
Talk a little bit more about the interaction, the interface between you and our office when you really had your hands full going from the level 1 trauma care center where they took you after the incident to a downgraded rehabilitation center.
Right. When I moved from the hospital to the rehab center, I got visited at the rehab facility by your staff.
One of my staff lawyers, exactly.
Right. So I knew that was still being looked into and that they made it as convenient as possible and made me feel as comfortable as I could considering the circumstances. And so I knew that the actions were still being taken to follow up on what was happening with the case.
What we live by is the golden rule, and I don't think enough people in today's society, in today's day and age, really get back to the golden rule, which is to treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
And that goes with returning phone calls, because if you call me, you're looking for a call back. And I call you back in a prompt manner that shows I care about you, it shows I respect you, it shows I care about your case, I'm on top of your case. And the more interaction we have with our clients, the more we get to know you, such that we can present your case to a judge or a jury or an insurance company in a way that's the best way possible. So I'm here with Colleen and Bernard, who's a former client. He's not an actor. He's not being compensated in any way. He was here to tell and is here to tell a little bit more about why he contacted my law firm in the first place. Go ahead, Bernard. Thank you.
I had a friend of the family that you had represented, and she said just give Jed a call, that they was very professional. So I gave you a call and came in for a consultation, and you took my case.
It was just a hit from behind.
I literally tripped over the leash and I smashed into the cement.
We had came to a complete stop, and the car came flying behind us.
You're a defensive driver because somebody waved the car on and they plowed right into us, T-boned us.
I walked out of the strip mall off of the sidewalk heading towards my vehicle, and a car came out between two other vehicles.
Then the dog was put up after that happened, but the point was I injured my knee and my shoulder.
Right away, I was jerked. I got like whiplash.
I didn't know what to do. When I saw one of your commercials, I called to find out, get some information.
Constantly kept in contact with me, Miss Peggy. She was awesome. She always made sure that I got all the information that I needed.
She was there. If I had a stupid question, she didn't care. She's like, no, you need to know. You have a question, I'm here to answer it.
Working with your firm was great. What your commercials are saying is what happens. When you say, we call you back, they call back.
The nice thing is I knew I was confident you would take care of everything and didn't have to worry.
Once I called you and your firm, then I didn't think twice about anything that needed to be done from that point.
I called the law office of Jed Dietrich, and I got results.
I've had 2 accidents, unfortunately. I was the passenger in both. My father was a driver the first time.
Desiree is one of my former clients. She's not a paid actor.
No.
She's a true person. She's giving her true story of what it was like to work with my firm. She was involved in 2 collisions, both of which were not the driver's fault when she was a passenger or her fault when she was involved in the collision. And there are important things to talk about here after a car accident in New York. You have to file what's known as an MV-104 form, which is a form with the Department of Motor Vehicles describing how the collision occurred. Many large law firms do not complete that form on behalf of their clients, like Desiree. We take that form, we complete that form on the client's behalf. We did it for you, Desiree, we did it for your dad, and then we submit the form to the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles. Tell the folks out there what it was like to get the forms.
So sometimes when you go into a law office, it's a little bit threatening because you don't really know what to expect. It's like walking into a courtroom and you didn't do anything wrong. But walking in, there's just a lot of stuff, so it's put in front of you. But I appreciate this law office because, yeah, it's a lot of paperwork, but they go through every page with you. It's not, here, read this, I'll be back in an hour, let me know what you think.
Right.
At the end, though, it was when I got down to, okay, here's the injuries, here's the doctors you've been to. That to me was very overwhelming, and I didn't realize I had that much going on, because as you're going through it, it seems like it's a lot for a minute, but then when you sit down, like I sat with, I think Pay came in too, because she had to notarize it, and we reviewed it. I was like, wow, it took me back because I didn't realize that's how much you had wrong with you. But after a car accident, sometimes you'd be like, oh, no, I'm fine. Then you're like, okay, a couple of days later, you're like, oh, okay, it doesn't feel as good as I thought I was okay. So seeing that paperwork, it definitely can be overwhelming, but I appreciate the fact that I was able to say, okay, I have a question on this, or what does this mean? And they sit with you and they take that time to review that with you. So if you had any questions, or you say, okay, what about this? What about that? Those specifics, that's what they're there for.
Our team of dedicated legal professionals is there to answer your questions, treat you the way we want to be treated, return every phone call within 1 business day. And again, we do fight to obtain maximum compensation for every client, whether it's for the damage to the rear end of your vehicle, or if you're in a slip and fall where you broke a leg or you hurt your neck. We're here to help you get those bills paid, to help you with the treatment with the doctors.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about you and your interaction with your doctors and the surgeries you've had.
My doctor was really good. He worked with you guys really well. The surgery, the first one wasn't that bad, but then after they noticed that the 2 fractures, so that it didn't work. The fused part of it, but didn't help with the other, so I had to go back in and do what probably should have been done the first time, but I didn't want it to go that way. But a second surgery had to be done, and now it's okay, but arthritis set in, and it's just very, very uncomfortable.
What else was it like to handle these injuries and these problems and to really not know where to turn, but to have us in your back pocket to help you?
Well, after the initial calling me back and keeping up with me, and when I had something I had to do, go to the doctors or do things, I called either you or Peg. Peggy answered, or you would call me back and ask me what kind of test I was going through and what I had to have, an MRI or things like that. You said, don't worry about it. We'll make sure everything's taken care of. I kept you informed every step of the way, and you did the same with me, which I really appreciate.
And my team members are trained to take care of all the little details to make you, Carol, and our other clients comfortable as the case proceeds, because you're worried about your medical care and your treatment and trying to get better. We don't want you to have to worry about stacks of paperwork that come from the insurance companies. And you know that because the paperwork was at your house after you were at the level 1 trauma center and after you were at the rehab facility. You came home, and what did you see at your house?
Oh my gosh, the amount of documents that come from the insurance company as a result of this, it's almost overwhelming, and it still continues. But I would say that it was nice going from rehab to my home and continuing with care in my home. And again, your firm made it convenient, saying, okay, we can follow up on this if you need mileage, if you have any bills that are coming. And they definitely followed up with me. If I ever had a question, I could be in touch, and they were so responsive immediately. I didn't have any issues at all. It made me feel very much at ease knowing that you and your team was with me through the entire process.
I was riding my bike.
We were in the car together and we were hit.
And it did not stop. It hit me.
Pretty much hit me head on.
I got hit from behind.
My leg was broken in several places.
I had many fractures.
And then I get that phone call, he's been hit.
I knew right away something wasn't right.
My injuries were getting worse.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going on. And that's when I knew I had to give you a call.
Contact Jed.
But I said, who can I call to help me again? That's Dietrich.
Oh, that was amazing when I got a hold of you guys and you guys took care of everything.
It was almost like I felt led to reach out to you.
And I called you and you handled that thing. I mean, you handled it.
I calmed right down because you explained everything.
You came right to the house.
Contact Jed.
You guys took that load off of me. What I didn't know, you guys filled me in.
I knew that I was in good hands and people that I could trust.
Contact Jed.
When you're suffering, to know someone is there for you, that means a lot, Jed.
It made me feel comfortable that all I had to do was focus on my recovery.
You stand by your word.
It just felt right.
I didn't have to deal with the insurance company anymore.
Putting yourselves in my shoes, and I really appreciated that.
I just knew that it was going to be taken care of.
Contact Jed.
Yeah, you're a real fighter.
The whole experience in general was amazing.
It was superb.
A weight off my shoulders.
Contact Jed.
Above and beyond.
That's someone who you should go for.
I would only trust Jed Dietrich.
Contact Jed.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the folks now, Desiree, about what it was like to work with my firm?
I'm a true believer of telling you when you did a great job, and you all did a great job. I don't need to be paid to give a compliment. You know, a compliment is just, for me, is self-satisfying, but somebody came and said, you did a great job. So I like to do that as well. But because I enjoyed the services that I received from your office and your staff and just the overall experience, because again, it's very overwhelming. There are times when literally I had so much going on, and I think the one time Peg had called me just to follow up on something else, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's just, she's like, well, you know, what's going on? Tell me. But it's the genuine caring. You can't, you can train on it, but you can't make them do it. So as you say, this is the way I want to run my office, it's still up to them to actually portray what you say. Because again, you review all the cases, but you can't be in the room every time. So it's good to know just from your clients who haven't had that experience that said, okay, but just so that you know, when you're not around, here's what really happened. So when you hear what really happened, and it just makes you feel like, okay, everything I'm doing is coming through. And to be able to see that as, this is your firm and your staff, I have to say you did a very good job training. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Desiree.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate all your
it.
comments. You're
You're
very
welcome.
kind and sincere. And please tell your dad, Joe, I said hello, and your daughter for me,
I will
okay?
do. All righty.
These people called JED for serious personal injury representation. Hear from real people with real results.
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to have the people out there know about what it was like to have this daunting thing impacting you? It happened to you, it wasn't your fault, and then you're placed into a circumstance. You want to get your bills paid, you want to get your wages paid, you need to potentially have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
What else would there be?
The pain is what it was, and continued. And sure, it feels somewhat better, but it's still not 100%. But I have to deal with that every day.
And
that's my life,
It's really important for people to understand that occasionally, or maybe frequently after these accidents, people end up with lifetime pain. And what we say when we're in court, because I try cases myself, when I go into court and at the end of the case, your case didn't have to go to trial, which is great.
Yes.
And 98% of our cases don't have to go to trial. So if you're at home and you say, I'm thinking about calling Jed, I don't know if I should, I don't really want to go to court, call us, absolutely. Or go to our website at calljed.com. But don't be afraid to say, I don't want to call because I'm afraid to go to court, because 98% of the cases don't go to court. And we're in a position here to help you, to educate you, to care for you in your time of need, such that at the end of the case, hopefully you're better because you got your treatment, you're square with the insurance companies, and then you end up with a settlement that's fair and reasonable. And again, your situation was the insurance company only had a certain amount of money.
Right.
And we obtained all of the money that was available for you under the circumstances.
Correct.
It's important to hire the right lawyer to make sure all the money's there versus maybe a little bit of the money and they may be withholding money. Insurance companies are not fair. They're in the business to protect their stockholders, to give them better returns.
Right.
They're not in business to take care of you, the person that was injured, or even the person that was driving the car that injured you. Sometimes they abandon their own insurance.
Right.
Thank you so much, Candy, for everything you've said here today.
Thank you for taking care of me. I am very happy.
It was our pleasure. Thank you.
You don't know what to do. I mean, you're shooken up. You don't know what to do when something first happens to you. The first thing we always think about, well, who's going to pay the bills? How am I going to get paid? What's going to happen? So the nice thing is to know that you take care of all that. That's kind of a blessing for anybody that has an issue, I'm telling you.
It's so important to define what is different in the Dietrich law firm versus these other advertisers who are somewhat like McDonald's or Walmart, volume operation. We are not a volume operation. We're a medium-sized firm. Every lawyer and assistant in my office has been trained to treat you the way we want to be treated. We live by the golden rule. And one of the things that you should do as a consumer to determine if you require our services is to go to our website. Because on our website, we have thank you notes from former clients. We have reviews from former clients. We have videos of former clients with testimonials, all defining what it's like to work with our firm. So again, Diane, I appreciate you coming in here today because you're not compensated. You're not an actress or an actor, and you're in a situation where you're just saying what happened to you so other people can understand it.
Right. And that's what I said. And I hope that, they see that and they give you a call because, I refer you to so many people that have had any kind of situation, even a fall or things like that, just so they can get the same help. But I try to refer people to you because I know you're going to be honest and fair.
Thank you for saying that, Diane. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
it was my
you.
pleasure to represent you.
Yes.
And I appreciate everything that you said to the people here. And I wish you the very best in the future.
You too, and your family.
I
I just am very, very lucky and blessed that I was able to recover to the point that I am.
When your case occurred, we knew it was going to be a very substantial matter, a very significant situation, and you were going to need a lot of help. So we give all of our clients our cell phone numbers. I give my personal cell phone number to every single client who contacts me that we decide to work with, and when the retainer agreement is executed. It's important to know that in New York, the attorney's fee is 1/3. So you can have the best lawyer in the world and that lawyer makes 1/3, or maybe not as good of a lawyer and it's 1/3. So we like to say we absolutely strive to be the best lawyers out there, to do the best job for our clients, to get you the best result, and it doesn't cost any more to hire us. And if you look at our website at calljed.com, CALLJED.com, you can obtain information. It doesn't cost you anything for a free consultation to give you the information to determine if you need help. And the vast majority of the people who contact us do need help. Your situation, Carol, was a little bit unique because, again, you were a pedestrian. You got hit by an elderly gentleman. He had a substantial insurance policy. His insurance policy was to pay for your medical bills and your wages, but we were concerned that there'd be more medical bills than the amount of his insurance policy. So your own insurance policy, your own auto insurance policy, we prepared a no-fault application for your company, which a lot of lawyers might not even know to do because, again, Carol was struck by a car. She's a pedestrian. She definitely needs a no-fault application for the car that struck her, but her own insurance company could provide extra additional coverage, which we did for you, and we sent you copies of that paperwork. So if people are out there, they need to know that there are many different steps that are complicated, complex steps that need to be followed and executed on. And we've been doing this, and we take pride in doing it properly.
Riding my bike.
We were in the car together and we were hit.
And it did not stop. It hit me.
Pretty much hit me head on.
I got hit from behind.
My leg was broken in several places.
I had many fractures.
And then I get that phone call and he's been hit.
I knew right away something wasn't right.
My injuries were getting worse.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going on. And that's when I knew I had to give you a call.
Contact Jed.
So I said, who can I call to help me again? Jed Dietrich.
Oh, that was amazing. When I got a hold of you guys and you guys took care of everything.
It was almost like I felt led to reach out to you. It was almost like I felt led to reach out to you.
And I called you and you handled that thing. I mean, you handled it.
I calmed right down because you explained everything.
You came right to the house.
Contact Jed.
You guys took that load off of me. What I didn't know, you guys filled me in.
I knew that I was in good hands and people that I could trust.
Contact Jed.
When you're suffering, to know someone is there for you, that means a lot, Jed.
It made me feel comfortable that all I had to do was focus on my recovery.
You stand by your word.
It just felt right.
I didn't have to deal with the insurance company anymore.
Putting yourselves in my shoes, and I really appreciated that.
I just knew that it was going to be taken care of.
Contact Jed.
Yeah, you're a real fighter.
The whole experience in general was amazing.
It was superb.
A weight off my shoulders.
Contact Jed.
Above and beyond.
That's someone who you should go for.
I would only trust Jed Dietrich.
Contact Jed.